Vladimir Putin's regime is responsible for an illegal invasion. There is strong evidence of war crimes, and we believe that those responsible must be held to account.
Spencer.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I thank my right honourable friend for his statement, and I associate myself with his remarks regarding PC Palmer. What steps is my right honourable friend taking to ensure that the mechanisms are in place so that evidence of war crimes can be confidently collected by the ICC?
Can I thank my honourable friend? We're doing two things in particular. First of all, I've convened a cross-Whitehall group, which we've done in the past, to make sure everything from witness protection services to gathering of evidence and information cooperation, we can provide whatever support may be needed. Secondly, I've been to The Hague. I'll be going back again this week and working with a coalition of countries who have also got unique expertise in that area to provide the support that the court needs.
Damien Moore.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Will my right honourable friend assure the House that our recently passed Economic Crime Act will ensure that those found guilty of war crimes in Ukraine will have every step taken by this Conservative government to deprive them of their illegally gotten gains?
Can I thank my honourable friend? He will know that because of the Sergei Magnitsky regime for asset freezes and visa bans for anyone who's committed serious human rights abuses, we already have that capacity in place on top of the further cooperation that we will be providing with the ICC, and indeed I should mention the Attorney General with the Prosecutor General for Ukraine.
John Whittingdale.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Does my right friend agree that while the shelling of civilians is in itself a war crime, any use of chemical or biological weapons, as has been predicted by President Biden today, would be a breach of the Geneva Protocol, the Chemical Weapons Convention, and would most certainly be a war crime?
Can I thank my right honourable friend? He's absolutely right. I'm always very careful to allow the ICC, which is independent, both the prosecutor and the chambers of the court, to make those determinations. But the points of principle he set out are absolutely right, and we must have no impunity for those either in Moscow or commanders on the ground who commit those kind of atrocities.
David Dewey.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And can my right honourable friend outline to the House what steps this government has taken to build the broadest caucus of support for prosecuting President Putin and his regime over their actions in Ukraine? And will he join me in applauding the role of the British ICC judge and British prosecutor on their work on this issue?
Can I thank my honourable friend? He's right, and of course we secured the election of Karim Khan, but also Joe Corner. They both operate independently on the court, but it is a sign of how well regarded the legal profession of this country is that we have two such senior figures, as well as the registrar. Again, they operate independently, but we are doing work with the Ukrainian authorities, particularly led by my right honourable friend, the Attorney General, and I am going back to The Hague to make sure we understand the specific needs that the ICC has, not just to provide support ourselves, but to make sure we bring together a coalition of countries with that unique expertise so justice can be done.
David Johnson.
Mr. Speaker, there won't be many people watching the TV each night who think that what Putin is doing to the Ukraine does not constitute war crimes. I appreciate what my right honourable friend says about the evidence and that these things can take a while. So, without him going into details, can he assure the House that we've learnt the lessons from previous attempts of bringing war crimes cases so that we might bring Putin and co to justice faster?
Can I thank my honourable friend? He's right, although of course we have a war going on and we need to be realistic. This is going to take time, strategic patience. We recently had Radovan Karadzic, the butcher of the Balkans, delivered to a British jail cell last year. That was under a sentence enforcement agreement that I happened to negotiate with the UN back in 2004. These things will take time. That is the realpolitik that we're dealing with. What we're making sure, first of all, that things like preservation of evidence, priority now on the ground, is conducted. Secondly, that the message goes out. We and our partners in support of the ICC are being very clear that if you commit these kind of crimes, sooner or later you'll end up in the dock of a court and behind bars.
Very short.
Speaker, the Secretary of State is a very senior member of the government. Would he ensure that this House is updated regularly on what's going on? So much has happened, even over the last weekend, in this dreadful conflict. And would he actually send a message? Not only should this House be updated regularly, but could we... I started thinking that this must be settled peacefully. Are we really going to let injustice rule in this country and let Russia get away with it?
The honourable gentleman is absolutely right. Thank him for what he said. I will happy to update the House either through oral questions or through other means. I'm very happy to meet with him. It's absolutely right. There will not be a peaceful settlement to this, and I think we all can agree that trusting Vladimir Putin to keep his word is going to be a very tall order for anyone, the international community, let alone President Zelensky, and there cannot just be a brushing under the carpet of atrocities committed now or in the future.